Hello and welcome to Vintage Cube by the Fireside, draft number 2. I'm trying a few different things with my recording stuff to hopefully get better quality in this video, so we'll see how it turns out. Um, I Here, there's not a whole lot to say about this pack. I mean, Mox Pearl, power's power, and I think Mox Pearl's actually the best Mox in the cube. Uh, I think I went over it in the last video, but white benefits most from a Mox, being the aggressive format it is. Just like a turn 1 Thalia, for example, is just way better than like a turn 1 Lotus Cobra or a turn 1 like blue doesn't really maybe like hold up Monolink or something like that. But yeah, Mox Pearl's easily the pick here. Back-to-back power. Okay. I'm not sure what they could have had in this pack that they picked over a Mox Jet, but we're happy that it happened. Either like a Lotus, maybe a different Mox. But yeah, we're gonna be pretty happy starting off with Mox into Mox. I think we're gonna take Gideon here. Tithe Taker's okay, but it's not a fantastic card, and with our start right now, I think we would love to be a white deck. So we're gonna try to do that. If we wheel Tithe Taker, that'd be nice, but Gideon's just one of the best planeswalkers in white, and having a planeswalker, or planeswalkers are very important in the white deck because it's very weak to board wipes, and this gives us a plan B. Also, we can turbo this out on turn 2 if we get pretty lucky with our Moxen, so that'd be nice. We're just going to take a Student of Warfare here. Just a solid mono white card, not too much to say about that. Here, I think we're between. I wasn't very high on Benevolent Bodyguard when it first came in, but honestly, it's kind of decent. It's kind of like a one-time mom. Obviously, I'd rather have Giver of Runes than a Benevolent Bodyguard, but it's it's pretty good, especially if you have really good permanents you want to protect, like Athalia. But I think we're gonna take Restoration Angel here. There's a lot that she combos with in white, specifically the what's her name? The white Splicer. She's very good. Blinking the 1/1 to get another 3/3 was a quality play. Um, Here we might go for Gonti. I mean, Recruit of the Guard's okay. It's good with Restoration Angel, notably. But we might end up white-black, or we might not even end up white. And Gonti is a very good card. Again, very good with Restoration Angel. I do really like Recurring Nightmare, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I doubt it wheels, but we're gonna take the Gonti. There's not really much here for a white deck, so we'll see where we go with that. Here I think we'll take a Marsh Flats. It's looking like white isn't super open with what we have going on, so we'll take the Marsh Flats. Like I said, we would like to end up white-black. I think that'd be great with our 2 Moxen, and it looks like black is fairly open with Rotting Reggie and Putrid Imp going this late, as well as the fact that Gonti and Recurring Nightmare were both in the last pack. Here we're going to take a Stoneforge Mystic. I think that card's very good. Hopefully we can pick up a Jite or a Batterskull. If not, the swords I think aren't very good, but with Stoneforge they can become playable, especially Sword of Fire and Ice, Sword of Feast and Famine. Mostly I think that protection is probably the best part. Here we'll take a Lyra. Looks like nobody's in green, but we don't really want to be in green anyway, so it doesn't really matter to us. Ooh, Thalia. I don't think I even saw that on the first way around. I think I would have taken that over. Oh, I think this was the Mox Jetpack. I probably just cruised right over it. But that's a fantastic pickup. I think Thalia is one of the better cards in mono white. I mean, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. I mean, the mono white usually has, if they have non-creature spells, they're usually pretty low CMC, stuff like Path and Swords to Plowshares. So Thalia doesn't really mess too much with those, but it can really shut down some control decks. Like pushing a Wrath back a turn to help you get in those extra couple points of damage, or making it so that they can't hold up a counter spell on turn 2 because you've gotten a Thalia out on turn 1, which is looking fairly likely with our double Moxen being able to play a 2-drop on turn 1. And it looks like white is very open. I think pretty much all the white cards wheeled that we were even thinking about, and the fact that Thalia went all the way around is really telling, because like I said, I think it's one of the better mono white cards. Land tax might be okay here. I mean, I don't think we're going to play Needle Spires, so we'll take that, throw it in the sideboard. But I think mono white, especially with Mox Pearl, Mox Jet, is just the one of, if not the best deck in the format. Mana Crypt Red, I think, might be better, but just it's a good amount of disruption, very good aggressive cards, and it has some amount of grindy elements, stuff like Lyra, Gideon. Here, I don't think it's Ancient Tomb. I think our white requirements right now are pretty heavy, and putting a colorless card in our deck doesn't seem like where we want to be. Black does seem fairly open, so picking up Arid Mesa to try to get like a Scrubland or a Godless Shrine might be good. I do really like Armageddon, which didn't come around notably, but I'm hoping that maybe this one does. Let's see, do we really want to try to splash for Gaunt here, or do we just want to go for gold? Draft mono white. The question is Hero of Bladehold better than Armageddon? And I think the answer is no. This is tough. I think I'll just take the Hero. I just like the card, honestly. Here, this is a bit more tough. I think it's Lingering Souls. If we are splashing black, which, we're set up to, I think we'll at least have 2 or 3 sources of black, then Lingering Souls becomes good, and if not, it's fine. We can put it in the deck, and I don't think we're really going to play Banishing Light or Skull Clamp, though Skull Clamp is good with Tithe Taker. It's not really good with anything else, so it is good with Lingering Souls, but we're just going to take the Lingering Souls, see how it goes. I like the Seasoned Hollow Blade, but I have a feeling it's going to wheel, so I think I'm just going to take the Prismatic Vista and hope to wheel the Hollow Blade in the chance that we end up splashing a color. Here we have to take Swords to Plowshares. I mean, it's, I think, the best removal in the cube. My headset keeps doing funky things. Alrighty, so yeah, we're gonna take the Jite here. We're gonna be very happy about it. That's like I think that's the best equipment that we can get with Stoneforge Mystic. Here we're gonna take the Skyclave Apparition. Just really good removal and a decent body. Alrighty, so here I think we're taking Wasteland. I think Linvala and Anguished Unmaking are both good. I mean, now with the Mox Jet, the Marsh Flats, and the Prismatic Vista, we definitely have the fixing to be able to splash black. I think Inquisition might be better, but I think Wasteland is just really good with stuff like Thalia, being able to really deny them from their mana while we turbo out these cheap threats with our Moxen. I think Wasteland's probably best in the white and red decks, though it's good in green when you have Recursion. Here, we take Spirit of the Labyrinth. We don't really have any card draw in this deck, so it doesn't hurt us. And it's a 3/1 for 2, which is really nice, and it can really shut down some strategies. So we're going to take that and be pretty happy about it. I'm really surprised the Arid Mesa went all the way around. I mean, I guess nobody's really seems to be drafting red or white, so I guess that's why. But I mean, we'll definitely take that. Here, Banishing Light is fine. I think it's better than Skull Clamp, and I think it's not better than Lightning Helix. I think Lightning Helix would be really good in this deck, but we're more looking to splash black solely because of Lingering Souls than we are to splash red. And like I said, like I expected, the Seasoned Hollow Blade came around. Nobody's drafting our deck, so we're just gonna end up with all the good white cards and hopefully end up 3-0ing this league. I mean, I guess we'll take the Null Priest, but we're definitely not playing that. I think we have enough playables here that we could probably, and we have a whole nother pack, but we already have, let's see, so 13, we already have 22 playables. Granted, 2 of them are Moxen, but here I think we're going to take the Gideon. I think Big Gideon is quite good, even though we're trying to be more of a low to the ground aggressive deck. Legion's Landing I think would be better in this deck for sure, but at the same time, Legion's Landing is almost definitely going to wheel. So I guess we're between the Gideon and the Winds of Abandon. We have so many true drops, but at the same time, removal can be really good to help us just to help us power our threats out. I think we're going to take Gideon. Here, it's definitely Mom. I can't imagine. Yeah, I think it just has to be Mom. I do like Disenchant. I like Yorion. It works okay with Stoneforge Mystic if we end up putting that in the deck. If we end up getting another equipment, it works okay with Leonin Relic Warder. But that's really it, I suppose. It can reset the loyalties of our Planeswalkers if we end up doing that, and if we end up splashing Gonti, then it can help with that as well, but we'll just take the Mom here. See what we wheel. There's a channel in this pack. We're definitely not playing that, but I don't even really like that card very much anyway. We're not a Soulfire Grandmaster deck. I do like Faith's Fetters quite a bit. Here I think we take Elspeth. Like I said earlier, Planeswalkers are just a good way for white to play around any sort of mass removal. And the second +1, the target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn, I think can be crucial to push through damage in matchups where the ground can get into a board stall, like mono green specifically. Mono white can have trouble with that because stuff like Spirit of the Labyrinth, Thalia, they don't really do too much against mono white. So giving flying to your creatures so that you can push through like 5 or 6 damage with your creatures can be pretty crucial. Here we're going to take the Blade Splicer. It goes well with the Restoration Angel. It's a 3-drop, and we're kind of lacking those. If we end up with an opening hand with both Mox Jet and Mox Pearl, then it's something that we can play on turn 1, because we don't really want to play Skyclave or Banishing Light, and I think this is better than Lingering Souls to play on turn 1. So yeah, we're gonna. Oh, alternatively, there's Batterskull. I think we can take Batterskull actually to go with our Stoneforge. Blade Splicer probably comes around. Yeah, we'll do that. Here we take Condemn. It is attacking creature, and we probably aren't going to we're gonna hope our opponents aren't really attacking. I think I would take Flicker Wisp if I was 100% certain that I was gonna get that Blade Slicer back, but I think Adanto Vanguard's just one of the better threats Mono White has. It's super resilient. Um, it's super resilient to removal, and it just hits very hard. I think it's better than Seasoned Hollow Blade. If we end up having to make cuts, we'll probably cut Seasoned Hollow Blade now that we have Adanto Vanguard. Can we be a Yorion deck, I wonder? Is that possible? We might have enough playables that we could be a Yorion deck. As in, have Yorion as a commander. Since white is just so open, we might be able to go all the way up to 60. Nah, maybe not. We'll see. I mean, we'll take Mirari's Wake, but we're definitely not playing it. Take Baneslayer Angel, but there we go. The Blade Splicer came around getting the deck. I guess this is probably better than Lyra. They both have Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, but that one pumps other angels, which is Resto, which is cool. If we get both Lyra and Resto, then it's definitely worth it. But the protection from demons and dragons can be important, and if our opponent has Karakas, then Lyra gets worse. So yeah, I think Baneslayer is better than Lyra. Put Wall of Omens over there. We have some decent things to do with Yorion. So we kind of have Relic Warder, works mediocre. We do have Stoneforge Mystic, Legion's Landing, kind of, Banishing Light, kind of. It does work well with Skyclave Apparition, so when you can give them a token if you want. You can exile Blink Skyclave Apparition to give them just like a rando token, and then bring in and then exile something else that's a little bit more scary. Here we have theoretically 33 playable, so you need 27 lands to make Yorion to work. And I don't think that that's something we're interested in, so we're more interested in making cuts. I think Elspeth Sun's Champion goes. Probably Gideon Jura, because we're looking to play a more low to the ground deck. Condemn I don't think is very good, because if our opponent's attacking, then we're not doing our jobs well. Do we want Baneslayer? No, I think we want. I think we would like to. Do we want to cut a land to make Lingering Souls better, or do we just want to cut Lingering Souls and put in Seasoned Hollow Blade? I think we want to cut Lingering Souls, put in Seasoned Hollow Blade, and then just run 14 lands with Wasteland, 2 fetches, Mox Pearl, Mox Jet. How's this? I don't think we're ever going to hit 5 with this few sources. Is there anything else we would like to cut for a land, is the question. Do we want to cut Baneslayer for a land? I think so. So right now we have 14, 15, 16 mana sources. But one of them is a wasteland, and 2 of them make it less likely for us to. Maybe we just don't want Marsh Flats, and we would rather just have a plains, because I don't think we're looking to thin the deck when we have such few sources anyways, and we're eventually we want to hit 5 drops, or maybe we do want both of the fetches. We cut Baneslayer and curve out at 4. Yeah, I think that's better. So now we have 3 fetch lands, so that once we like the further the game goes, the less likely we are to hit lands, because of all of our fetches. And we curve out at 4, technically 5 with Batterskull, but we're trying our best not to actually cast Batterskull. That's more of a Stoneforge and then put it into play sort of deal than anything else. So, yeah, I think this looks good. I'll see you guys round 1. Alright, here we are for round 1. This is certainly a keep. We have a turn 1 Spirit of the Labyrinth, turn 2 Blade Splicer, and very possibly a turn 3 Hero of Bladehold. Don't Thoughtseize me. Shoot. So this makes our hand much worse. I feel like they kind of have to take either the Mox Jet or the Spirit of the Labyrinth. But, oh, they take Student of Warfare? We weren't even going to cast that, I don't think. Yeah, so we're just going to play Spirit of the Labyrinth. Pass the turn. I forgot to say good luck, have fun. Exploding Shark. Good luck, have fun, Exploding Shark. I like the name. And the fact that he's a goblin. Much better than a Saheeli. Baleful Strix. Fine. You can't draw a card off of that. Haha. And here the fetches are going to do pretty well. They're going to thin our deck, and we're going to have enough mana to be able to play all our threats. So I think we would like to keep the Spirit of the Labyrinth alive. I think we just Skyclave Apparition, kill the Baleful Strix, get in for 3. There aren't very many troublesome permanents that we really want to deal with in blue-black. I think Baleful Strix is one of the better ones that they could have, and it enables Fallen Shinobi. Here, I don't think I'm just going to slam Hero of Bladehold. I think I'd rather get down Mother of Runes and Blade Splicer, and just pray that if they have a Wrath, they have a Wrath, and we're losing this game. But if they don't have a Wrath this turn, then we're hitting them for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? Yeah, we're hitting them for 9. And we're just going to keep the Hero of Bladehold in hand, because I don't think... okay, it's Jace. Jace is totally fine. It just dies. Sure, you can return the mom. So we're not going to show them anymore. I think we just win this game if they don't have a board wipe. So this is going to go at Jace. This at them, this at them, this at them. So we're going to kill the Jace, and they should just be dead on board next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they have to deal with 2 of our threats, or if they deal with the Skyclave, okay, yeah. They can't. They didn't have a board wipe, and that just shows the power of the Moxen, and specifically the mono white deck. They definitely made a mistake exiling or discarding the Student of Warfare as opposed to anything else. Since I had a Mox in my hand, there was no reason for me to play a 1-drop. I just played 2, 3, and then 2, 3, 4. Student of Warfare was essentially just a 1/1 for 1, and we had better things going on. So against blue-black control, I imagine. I don't think we want to change anything. Our deck configuration is pretty much meant to beat up on control decks as long as they don't have board wipes. So we're just gonna stick to it. We're gonna keep this. The one problem is that Stoneforge doesn't actually get anything. We happen to have both of our targets in our hand as well as Stoneforge. I think if Stoneforge was anything else, or if either of the 2 equipment or something else, this hand would be fantastic. But as is, it's a turn 1 Adanto, or turn one Stoneforge, turn 2 slap a Batterskull into play. We're on the draw, so there's a good chance we hit lands. Funny enough, I think maybe we'll keep this. I think this is enough to kill our opponent. Hopefully they don't have. Okay, they have a Mox of their own. Let's see what they do with it. Ah, they have a Signet. Okay, and we draw land, which is great. So do that. We'll throw down a. I think maybe we do Adanto Vanguard first. Plays around more stuff, so throwing down an Adanto Vanguard, it gives itself indestructible. They could have Jace this turn, which would be annoying, but next turn we can throw down a Stoneforge into a Benevolent Bodyguard and use the Benevolent Bodyguard to protect the Stoneforge so that we can definitely throw down the Batterskull or maybe the Jitte if we want to, and this allows us to play and equip the Jitte in the same turn. The use of Sanity is kind of annoying, but they missed a land drop, so we're not in too bad shape. We'll get in with the Adanto. Do it. Block. No, they don't. They're smarter than a box of rocks. They're not going to do that. So we're just not going to do that. Play this. Pass the turn. I think we're going to go with the Jitte plan. We would like to kill the Thief of Sanity if humanly possible. So I'm playing some light jazz in the background. I'm hoping you guys can't hear it. I'm trying to make it super quiet, but I guess because my headset, if it doesn't detect any input, it just kind of auto shuts off, goes into sleep mode, even if I'm talking. So having input is the only way. Okay, so they take my Jitte, which is unfortunate. But having some sort of input is the only way that I can make it stay on so that I don't have these weird lapses in talking. Yeah, we'll sack Benevolent Bodyguard to save the Stoneforge Mystic. It's a 1-for-1. They paid 2 mana for that. I didn't pay anything, and I paid 1 mana for it. So overall, it was a good trade. Wasted some of their removal, and notably they wasted the removal that they could have used for Adanto Vanguard, because that's one of the few things that actually kills it. Here, I think we're actually just gonna. It tells them what we drew, but we're just gonna get down the Skyclave Apparition, get rid of this Thief of Sanity, because that's a pretty important card to get rid of. We also could have gotten rid of the Mox Diamond. I didn't actually think of that. But they're stuck on lands, and we have a decent amount of threat, so there's not a whole lot that they can exile off the top of their deck that can, at the top of our deck, that can help them in this scenario. But we'll see what they play. Okay, they hit Elspeth. They hit my Elspeth, which isn't the end of the world. They're going to get a 1/1, so they can block the Adanto Vanguard, but we're going to hit it for 2. Seasoned Hollowblade. We're going to lose 4 life in the exchange, but I think that's fine. I think we really do have to kill the Elspeth, unfortunately. It is going to essentially do at least 8 damage to us. We're going to be able to kill it next turn for sure, but unless they have a board wipe. If they have a board wipe after they get the Elspeth, then I think we can definitely end up being in trouble, because this Batterskull isn't going to do anything if they board wipe us. But they don't, because they made a 1/1. So they've got 2 cards in hand. I don't want to call it when it's too early, but I think we have this game pretty well down pat. Oh, them bouncing the Skyclave is definitely somewhat good. The exiled card's owner. Sure. Actually, I think that's actively good for us because now we exile the so we exile the Elspeth. With our Skyclave apparition, and that gives us a 4/4 if Skyclave apparition dies, and we have enough attackers to be able to kill Jace, I believe. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. We shouldn't have played the land. We should have kept that in hand for Seasoned Hollowblade. But we're just going to attack Jace with this, attack them with Stoneforge, even though we're essentially just, that just throws Stoneforge under the bus. If we attack like this, they kill Seasoned Hollowblade with their 1/1, which is fine. I think we just do that. And Stoneforge is just a 1/2, but attacking them just allows them to block it with the illusion and eat it for free. So it was definitely a misplay to have played that land there. I don't think we don't have anything in our deck worth 5 mana. So Looter Ilkor is fine. And we can attack freely with this Skyclave Shade. Because if they do block it to kill it, then we are the ones that end up getting the 4/4 because that's our Elspeth. And hopefully they don't realize that. They don't. And we get a 4/4. I think we pretty much have this one in the bag. Yep, they loot. That's fine. They're dead on the backswing. Alright, so we did mono white things with our mono white deck, and we ended up pulling ahead. On to round 2. Alright, good luck, have fun, go to DMC. This is a turn 1 Thalia, so we're going to keep this. If we draw a land, I'm curious if this is a turn 1 Student Honor of the Pure, or a turn 1 Thalia. Maybe it's a turn 1 Stoneforge? I think it's a turn 1 Thalia. Them being blue-red, I think Thalia shuts down a lot of the things that they could have on turn 2. Signets specifically, I think, are a good thing. That Thalia really just turns them off. Draw land? We do. Fantastic. So we are going to play Stoneforge. Snap Resolves. And we will grab a Jite. And then we'll fetch for a white, play Student of Warfare, get in for 2. And this is what mono white is trying to do. It's unfortunate that we can't play Gideon next turn if we draw a land, but we will be able to cheat in and equip a Jite, or play an Honor of the Pure and level up Student of Warfare to get in for a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, so this is where Thalia is really doing its thing. So a 3 mana Everflowing Chalice is pretty bad, especially when they're taking a good amount of damage here. Land? No. if we had one more mana, this Banishing Light on the Everflowing Chalice would be pretty hilarious. But we don't, so here we are. I think I'll level up Student, get in for 3. It's not a whole lot, but it allows us to cheat in a Batterskull next turn. Four mana Ashiok. Well, I mean, that's just dead. Sure. So they hit Blade Splicer, Gideon, Arid Mesa. Oh, shoot. I just forgot to do Stoneforge. That's super unfortunate. Oh, that's bad. That was a huge misplay. Hopefully we don't get punished too hard for it. Okay, and it's looking like we're not getting punished too hard for it. We're going to be able to untap. Alright, so I think we do want to just get down the Batterskull. So we're just going to level up the Student Warfare. They're just yielding through the turn. This is a double Stone Rain on them because it kills the Everflowing Chalice, and it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it looks like they're auto yielding, so yeah, we'll just do that actually. It turns off their Tolarian Academy, and we have Thalia in play. So they have 4 mana. They weren't able to do anything last turn with 6, so I can't imagine they'd be able to do anything this turn with 4, and we win. Would have been a lot cleaner if we had a Batterskull down, but such is life. Stoneforge Mystic was a 2 mana 1/2 there, but that is okay. So we're playing against another control deck, maybe? They could be Storm, but I don't think. We didn't see a ton of artifacts out of them, but they had an artifact. Maybe we want Faith's Fetters? Do we want anything for Faith's Fetters? I think Banishing Light's better. Because the life gain doesn't really matter. I guess we just run it back. I mean, we're not playing any of these cards, really. We just want to kill them before they can do anything important. Oh, no Moxen? I think this is actually the first hand we've had that didn't have any Moxen in it, so this will be interesting. Maybe we should have mulliganed it because we have a Batterskull, and Batterskull's basically a 6-card hand. We're not going to be able to play the Batterskull for a long time. But we just have a lot of other really good stuff going on, so I figured it was probably worth it. Since they're a blue deck, I feel like Spirit of the Labyrinth might end up doing some good things. Imagine here... Oh, just the Everflowing Chalice. That's fine. 1 mana. What are you playing for 1 mana? Please don't be Soul Ring. Okay. Dismember. That's alright. Oh, that was a good draw. Play the Legion's Landing. Play the Spirit of the Labyrinth. It's just more aggressive, and I don't think they didn't show us any counter spells last game, so we're not gonna really prioritize Tithe Taker too much. Felidar Retreat. I mean, that's okay. We just play Stoneforge. Grab Jite. get in for 4. And if they want to play a land and make a 2/2, I think I'm happy just swordsing it. But we'll see what else they do this turn. I don't think this card should be in Vintage Cube. It just doesn't seem particularly strong. If they don't play any land here, wow, yeah, they're in trouble. I don't really see a way that they can get out of this. Especially now that I have a Jitte. Put that on the Stoneforge. I mean, if they make a cat with the Felidar Retreat, then oh, they've got something. 3 mana instant speed. Not sure what this could be. Oh, unexpectedly absent on Stoneforge. I guess that's fine. We're still hitting them for 4. They have 1 card in hand. They're at 8. Okay, they have a 2/2. It's something. They drew a land, and apparently they can't do anything with the cards in their hand. Wasteland was a great draw, so we're going to play Wasteland. Waste their plateau. Swords their cat beast. And Jitte up the vampire. I'm okay with them gaining 2 life here. It allows us to get in with the vampire and the spirit. Hits them for 4. We have lethal next turn if they don't hit a land or a creature. If they do hit a land or a creature, if they hit a land, then we just kill it with the Jitte. And they're in the same spot next turn, but at 2 life instead of 6. So we're going to start out with the Tithe Taker. I don't think it'll really mess them up, but if they have something instant speed, they might be incentivized to do it now. But they have Cryptic, Ice. Do we want to fizzle their card draw? They're dead next turn, so just having them have 1 less card in hand seems like a good idea. So they don't draw a card off of Fire and Ice because we killed our own guy. We get in for 3, and we still have 2 lethal threats next turn because we're going to throw Jitte on the Tithe Taker. They've got a spell. I don't think even Wrath even doesn't do it because I get a 1/1 and then I equip the Jitte to it. Ballista. Wow. Okay. That was a very good draw. But doesn't quite do it. The Jitte does its thing. Actually, it might keep them alive a turn because they can block. Yeah, they can block and shoot something down. Skyclave Apparition. That's a good draw. Let's just swing in. Yeah, I think Ballista was probably the only thing they could draw to have them survive here. I don't think they're going to be able to kill both of our things, so they do that. Blue. Oh. That's pretty good. We're going to give it +2/+2 so it doesn't die to the Ballista. And we get counters. here, I think we're going to play the Skyclave Apparition. If they have a removal spell for it, it gets kind of ugly. Maybe we should have killed the Everflowing Chalice instead. I mean, GT can still double pump if they have a removal for Skyclave. It's so cool that it does activated abilities too. I mean, if they had done it on their turn, they would have just straight up died. Let's see what she got for 5. Big Gideon would be pretty good here. I mean, I think we just kill it. Yeah, we win the match. GG's. GG's opponent. 4-0 so far. Alright, let's see if we can get the trophy in round 3. Alrighty, we're back for round 3. This is for the trophy against Pheotis, 1986. So, good luck, have fun. I think this hand is fine. It has a good curve. It's not particularly explosive. It kind of depends on what they're playing against. If they're playing like a blue deck, this hand is great. Tithe Taker and Spirit of the Labyrinth are both very good against them. I think we keep this. Let's see what they're playing. That was a fantastic draw. Oh, he said happy holidays. Alrighty, so here they just got a Soul Ring. I think we throw down Athalia now. It attacks through their Trinket Mage profitably. It makes it so their Soul Ring's more expensive. If they keep activating their Ancient Tomb, I think that's very good for us, and we can just Skyclave their Soul Ring next turn if they don't have anything to play for due to the extra shenanigans, or the extra mana that they have to play to get the Soul Ring down. Yeah, and they have a tap land. I'd love for them to play just the Soul Ring go. Got anything for 3? Doesn't look like it. So we're gonna get in for 2 here. Get down a Skyclave Apparition. They can like daze us or Mana Leak us, which is unfortunate, but if this resolves, I think we're in a great spot. And it does. So we're gonna get rid of that pesky Soul Ring. So they spent Trinket Mage and Ancient Tomb mana 2 turns in a row to get that Soul Ring down, and now I have a 2/2 that gives them a 1/1 if it dies. If they keep activating Ancient Tomb, I think we're gonna end up doing pretty well. And they have white as well. Interesting. So, and they're activating Ancient Tomb again. What's this? A Coercive Portal. Okay. I mean, they're at 12. We can't play the Gideon, but we can play 2 1-drop or 2 2-drops this turn. Oh, haha, Coercive Portal's just entirely shut down by Spirit of the Labyrinth, which is pretty nice. We're just gonna get in with the team. If they eat the Benevolent Bodyguard, I think that's fine. If they block the Skyclave, it's kind of the same thing, except we don't get to kill the Trinket Mage. Maybe we should have kept the Benevolent Bodyguard behind. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. We should have just kept the Benevolent Bodyguard behind. We're going to play a Tithe Taker. And they couldn't daze us anyway, but now they really can't daze us. we're gonna play Spirit of the Labyrinth. So Corrosive Portal's now useless, which is pretty cool. Imagine they're gonna vote for Carnage. Maybe they just know what's up. They're gonna vote for oh yeah, they voted for Carnage. We're gonna vote for Homage. You can draw that card. Yeah, we got kind of lucky with this mono white deck. We're playing against all the decks that this deck just absolutely destroys. I think next turn we're gonna get down to Gideon. I mean, I don't think they can really even activate their Ancient Tomb because they're probably just dead if they do. They spend 5 mana on something. If they only have the 1 blocker, then we have 6 mana worth of attackers, which Ancient Tomb takes them down to 6. If they do end up creating an additional blocker, then we have Gideon, which makes it so that any 2 of our threats, as opposed to any 3 of our threats, are lethal. So I can't imagine a card that they have here that ends up winning them the game. Tapped Lumbering Balls definitely doesn't spell a good start for a comeback. Balance. Wow. Balance was a good one. Okay. We got ourselves a game here. We're going to keep our Spirit of the Labyrinth around. They sacrifice their Ancient Tomb, which makes sense. They've got to discard a card. We lose 3 creatures. They get a 1/1. We get a 1/1 flyer. We're going to keep our Spirit of the Labyrinth. I think just keeping their Coercive Portal off is best. We're going to play the Gideon. We're just going to 0 this turn, but next turn we're probably going to start plussing. Or we're at least going to plus once and then maybe ultimate after that, but I think Gideon's going to generate a whole lot of value for us here. I think I might have this is yeah, I tried to make the screen a little bit better, but I don't seem to be successful. They voted for Carnage again, which makes sense. They should vote for Carnage. Give us a chance to mess up. Vindicator Gideon. Okay, that was a good draw for them. I think we hold the Banishing Light. Because right now they don't have any anything too super scary in play. I don't think the Banishing Light's really letting us push in more damage. If they don't play anything, maybe we take the Illusion. Or we Banishing Light the Illusion so we can get in for additional damage, but I think it's probably just better to hold it for something better. They drew an Orzhov Signet, I imagine. Or maybe they definitely didn't need double white. Kaya. Okay, Kaya is pretty good. I think that's worth Banishing Lighting. They get to exile my spirit, and now we're kind of at a standstill. They're at 6, I'm at 19. Okay, I think this actually, I think what we do is we Banishing Light the Illusion as opposed to the Kaya. That way if they end up killing the Banishing Light, they don't get anything back. And we get in with the Illusion. Or do we just ignore Kaya, maybe? Because we have 2 lethal threats. Kaya can gain 2 life, and we're hitting them for 3 this turn, and then 6 next turn. They do have blue-black to be able to animate the Creeping Tar Pit, so yeah, I think we do kill the Kaya, because it gains them 2 life next turn, so we get an additional single point of damage, but the but they won't have Kaya on the battlefield anymore. I think we're just going to attack with the Adanto Vanguard next turn if they don't do anything here. It looks like they drew a land, so I'm not sure what they could have, but I don't want them trading their Adanto for the Spirit of the Labyrinth and starting to draw additional cards. No. Oh, so they played that for 1 so that they could still activate the Creeping Tar Pit, which makes sense. Oh, I think that's just game now, so Wasteland the Tar Pit. Now they can't activate either of their man lands. We swing for 6 and we win. Sorry buddy, that doesn't work. It is still a land. And hit for exactly lethal. Okay, onto sideboard. So I don't think we really want to change anything. Maybe we want Faith's Fetters instead of something else. Resto maybe? Faith's Fetters instead of Resto. Because they had Signets. No, I think this is just fine. We're gonna run it forward. Or we're just gonna run it back, I think. I don't think there's any changes that we actually need to make. Alrighty. I think this hand is acceptable. It's unfortunate that we have Batterskull with only 2 mana sources. Yeah, I think this is actually a mulligan. This is a bit better. Yeah, we'll keep this. I don't love it, but whew, that was close. Almost yielded through my own turn. So I've got 5 mana here on turn 2. Or 4 mana here on turn 2. That's pretty powerful. Let's see what they got with it. Hopefully it's not I think the... Oh, that kicked twice? That's fine. Here, I think we get down the Seasoned Hollow Blade. I'm just going to pass to them, get aggressive. They have a lot of mana here now, though. See what they have to do with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they jam a Karn, I think they got us. We don't have enough power on board to threaten Karn. Mer Battle Sphere would also be very good. Shouldn't have called it. If they minus Karn, I think we're in an okay spot. They do. Okay. Batterskull, I did not want to see you. So I think we student Benevolent Bodyguard. Level up the student. Get in at Karn. I think the 1 is more important because they would have tried to kill Mom a lot earlier if they had an answer for Mom already. So they have to +4, and then we can hit them for 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess we discard Batterskull. We're not gonna cast that card. And we do have some 4s that would be good. I think Gideon would be one of our better draws here. Honor of the Pure would kind of do the same thing. But fortunately, unless they have something to follow up here to protect the Karn, then they're gonna be stuck plussing for no value next turn. So right now we're hitting them for 3. So I think we play the Jitte, and we don't actually equip it. I think leveling up our student is more important than equipping the Jitte here. Because if we don't level up the student, they can just minus Karn. Alright, we're going to hit them for 5 this turn. That's going to put Karn down to 1. If he pluses, then he'll get to 5 next turn. And hopefully if they don't have anything to defend him by then we can finish off the Karn. Nature's Claim, the Jitte is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. That's too much mana. Stop. Oh. Okay, I think we can still kill the Karn here, though. Yeah, we can still kill the Karn, so we level this up to 7, give it double strike, then give it protection from white and get in. kind of funny if they can't have white removal, but if they did, um, giving my student protection from white makes it so that my benevolent bodyguard can't give it protection from anything else. Okay, so Karn down. They can't really attack with the angels. They have 2 cards in hand. They do attack with the angels. Do they have... I don't think they can have an answer for my student. Unless they have Ugin, that would be super unfortunate. But we're winning this race. It's one of the nice things about Benevolent Bodyguard. It actually can get in for damage. Okay, they let the damage through. I mean, we have lethal next turn with double protection up. Trinket Mage doesn't really do it. Like I said, we have protection from 2 different colors. Getting a Soul Ring. Soul Ring's fine. Unless they have something that... No, they would have just played something if they had... They would have just played it if they had something better. So do we want to just go for it, or do we want to play it safe? Got 2 cards in hand. I think they would have used removal a while ago if they had it, but they have been top decking for a while. This is tough. If they do have removal, we're dead. If we go for it. Don't have a whole lot to deal with the angels. I think we're just gonna play it safe. They're pausing so long here, I feel like they might have something. Alright, so we're gonna give it protection from blue. That way they have to block with the angel to survive, and we can still use the benevolent bodyguard. No, they can't really attack with the angel. We're at 11, which is a pretty safe life total. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. That's brutal. It's so good. Huh. I guess I should have just gone for it. I was not expecting exactly Blast Zone. And this just ruins us. I mean, it kills their own Soul Ring, but... Wow. Okay. I see you. They have a follow-up? Ah, that's okay. We'll discard our planes. But we're dead in 2 turns here. Not a ton we can draw. Tithe Taker does some things. Buys us some time, kills the Trinket Mage. Or trades with the Trinket Mage and then blocks the Angel Warrior for a turn. We're gonna keep fighting until we die, but that was brutal. That was the most effective Blast Zone I've ever seen. Yeah, it looks like we probably should just gone for it because they're not... They had 1 card left in hand after they used the Blast Zone. I think they just like top decked that and add the Mind Twist maybe. Okay, so they had the Fatal Push. I don't think there's anything left in our deck that we can draw at this point, though. Like, plow into something else. No, Elspeth doesn't do it. We're gonna concede. That was a brutal Blast Zone. Okay. I think we just run it back. I mean, I think our deck is good against theirs. We are on the play now. So, yeah, we have a turn 1 Thalia. Yeah, we'll keep this. I think turn 1 Thalia is disgusting against them. We don't have too much to follow that up with, but... I have Caracas. They've got the tech, I guess. Hopefully we draw Wasteland. Maybe we should have brought in Faith's Fetters. Hopefully we draw Wasteland. Actually stick this Thalia. We're gonna thin our deck a bit. Get down the resto. Speed up the clock a bit. Ooh, G-Type was good. Maybe we shouldn't have put it on the Tithe Taker since they have Fatal Push. Okay, went through. That's alright. They've got Blast Zone. Fortunately, it doesn't do a whole lot right now. Blade Splicer after we drew Resto, or played Resto is unfortunate. Just gonna get in as much damage as we can. I imagine they're gonna level up the Blast Zone and then maybe pop it, but and if they do that, then we're going to want to have used the counters for some. Oh, I didn't play Blade Splicer. Hopefully that doesn't lose us the game. They put a counter on it. Maybe we can Swords to Plowshares. We would have been able to do that anyway. That was just straight up misplay. That was sloppy. So they have to spend their entire turn to activate the Blast Zone. They're going to go down to 1. We're going to have a good amount of lethal threats. Attack. We're going to pay 4 to activate Blast Zone. We're going to gain some life. The Afterlife is definitely nice here. Gives us 2 lethal threats. I think here we just play the Thalia. I know they could just Karakas it, but them having to either use their Karakas to bounce the Thalia or to pay additional mana might make the difference here between whether we get to keep 2 threats or not. 2 mana Soul Ring's fine. I think they probably should have bounced the Thalia. That would have been a 1 mana Soul Ring. Okay, they cycle Miscalc. That's good for us. And I don't know what they could have for 3 mana here. Well, yeah. 2+1. Because a creature doesn't really do it. We have 3 lethal threats. If it's a 2 mana creature plus bounce Karakas, that still doesn't do it. I think we've got it. Yeah, and that's a trophy. They had the text, but we ended up getting the win. So that was 6-1, which is pretty darn good. Let's take a look at the deck. I think this is just a testament to how good the Mono White archetype was. Thalia, I think Spirit of the Labyrinth overperformed, but honestly, I think it's a very good card. This was a great addition to the cube. Except for keeping in mind that I think Mono White was probably the best deck in the format. Before that, Thalia performed super well. Tithe Taker did its thing against that last opponent. Making that Walking Ballista cost extra was pretty crucial as well. And then we just had good aggro with Adanto Vanguard, Seasoned Hollowblade. The Relic did well. Benevolent Bodyguard, we kind of got to see it do its thing. It basically prevented them from being able to Fatal Push our huge student of warfare in that last match, game 2 of match 3. So that was pretty nice. Batterskull doesn't really do much, but that was partially because I misplayed and didn't put it onto the battlefield. But it was good when we did get it to do stuff, and I think that plus Stoneforge Mystic is just a great combination. It was pretty clunky in our hand the couple times that we did have it. Restoration Angel was pretty medium. We weren't able to really abuse it in any way. It was just a 4-mana 3/4 flyer, which was, adequate for that last match. But otherwise, it didn't really do much. And the Moxen are what pushed this deck over the edge. Without the Moxen, I mean, the Moxen like almost single-handedly won us so many of those games. Being able to throw out turn 1 Thalia a couple times, or turn 1 big threats, was absolutely broken, and set our opponents back far enough, or put us up in the race quite far enough that we just ended up winning those games that it happened. I think the deck configuration was exactly where we wanted it to be. I like Condemn would have done almost nothing. They didn't really attack us with creatures in all of the matches that we played. Granted, we were playing against like blue-based control decks, but Condemn would have done really nothing for us any of the games that we played. Lingering Souls might have been okay, but I don't think it was worth train wrecking our mana base to be able to play the fat flashback. And as far as it's kind of a 5 mana for 4/1/1 flyers. I think our cards are just better. Unfortunately, I think Lingering Souls is very good. If we had a scrub land, I think things would have been different. We could have had or a Godless Shrine. I think we would have splashed it and made it work. Maybe cut like a Seasoned Hollow Blade, or maybe a Banishing Light. Banishing Light didn't really do too much for us. I think it could have been the one situation where Banishing Light was decent. I think Lingering Souls would have been just as good. Not playing any of the big mana plays I think was fine. The Batterskull in our openers was clunky enough because we didn't often get up to 5 mana. And when we did, we usually won shortly thereafter because we're meant to be a low to the ground aggro deck. But yeah, so this was the league. Thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate the support, and you guys have a great night.